All right. All right, everybody. Couldn't get myself to the stage for a minute. Running a little late, but not that late. So let me check on something real quick before I get started here. I see Mr. T Hill's in the building. Thank you, brother, for coming in. All right, let's get to it, y'all. It's Thursday. Very gloomy day up here in Connecticut. It's kind of cold, wet, whatever you want to call it, right? It's not a beautiful day as it was the last couple of days. It's pretty sunny. So today, hey, it's not that way. But listen, you know what? It's a whole lot of other stuff to talk about than what we got going on here and everything. So I just wanted to jump right into it. And of course, we see the media, what's going on, different states, what's going on with the government, what the president's doing, Don DeCon, everything that he's doing right now, and with this whole tariff situation and these stupid people that voted for him. And that's what I call them. They're just idiots, not understanding how terrorists works, right? And I'm not going to teach nobody how terrorists works over and over again. It's like, come on, why we got to keep repeating the same thing? But at the end of the day, they're crying because they're losing their jobs, right? Prices getting ready to go up. And at the same time, they're this fool has an approval rating over 47%, which I do not understand. How does he have an approval rating over 47%? And he's basically just screwing up everything, right? So now he's doing the reciprocal tariffs, right? Now, how's that going to benefit everybody? You just tariff on every little country you can find. Anything. I'm a tariff this. I'm a tariff. Well, listen, it doesn't help anybody that's in my line of work. It actually hurts everybody that's in my line of work. And my line of work is it's a broad spectrum, right? It's not just what I do in that industry. A lot of people I know do different things in that industry. So it's not helping them. You see what I'm saying? So he's literally just screwing up everybody. If y'all see, ain't nobody saying nothing right now. When the gas went down for 2 weeks, everybody was making videos. Oh man, look at the gas. Trump is doing this. Now gas is going back up. Average gas price is $3.17 across the U.S. That's average. Your state could be cheaper. Your state could be higher. Where they at? Where they at? I'm in transportation, so we all know one of your biggest costs is diesel. That's going up. So what does all this make America great again? I'm still trying to find everybody who keeps saying Trump's going to make America great, right? They're telling you you gotta wait a little bit. We got to take some burns and bumps and bruises. I don't know about you. I can't handle no burns or bumps or bruises in my wallet. So what are we supposed to do? And as usual, I do a live. And then what happens is when I do the live, after people start putting stuff in the comments, right? And I appreciate whatever you put in the comment. I'm not going to be mad at you. And I always say, hey, listen, if you feel that way, I have the call in number. Just call in. You don't have to show your face. Just call in, express your point, right? And they'll all say, oh, yeah. I'm going to do that. Then I do another lot. They don't do it, right? So let's be honest. We got a bunch of people who cannot explain, in all fairness, what this guy's trying to do. They don't have an idea. They don't have a clue because he don't have a clue. He's all over the place. He doesn't have a clue. And I want to back something up. We had 4 soldiers over near Lithuania Belarus border, and when they asked him about it, he had no idea that these 4 soldiers were missing. Right, and I wanted to play the video there. I just decided I'm not going to do it. I just was no need to, right? But he had no clue. You see what I'm saying? So this man doesn't know what's going on. And here we go. We got a comment right here, right? And it says, if they're bringing companies here, that's more freight for us to move. What companies are coming here? What companies are coming back? You see, this is what I'm talking about right here. You get a comment like this. What companies are coming back, right? See, this is what people don't understand. There's something called labor that you have to pay. And it is cheaper, way cheaper, to have your company in another country where your labor cost is averaging $3.25 per employee. Where your labor cost, you don't have to pay any kind of medical benefits, any kind of Social Security benefits that we have over here, no retirement. You don't pay that. So why would I move my company back here if the cost is going to be too much? Then I got all these rules and regulations. They're not coming back. I don't know why people can't understand this. These companies aren't coming back in droves the way that you think they are. Because you know why? If they come back, then what's going to happen? The American public is going to want a decent wage, a livable wage. Then they're going to say, well, how much money you need? You can't live off of $7.15 an hour, which is the federal minimum wage. Who can do that? How much are you buying living off of $7.15 an hour? So it doesn't work that way. They're not coming back. It's just not going to happen. Putting tariffs on everything has not brought companies back since they started tariffs. And what he's doing, basically, he's putting us in a recession. We're going right back to where we were on what caused the Great Depression. It's actions that he's doing right now. And what a lot of y'all don't understand, and I'm just going to put it where the goats can get it, a lot of y'all aren't invested in the stock market, and you should be. I'm saying it now, you should be, because your 401k is there. You should be there, right? And because you're not invested, you don't understand what's going on, right? So we're seeing the stock market keeps going down, then it come up, down. He's trying to, in my opinion, Theo's opinion, he's trying to crash the stock market, is what he's trying to do. And all these billionaires can go in there and buy the stock at anywhere between 40 to 60% less and line their pockets up, because the average person, meaning you and I, when we see the stock market going down, we are like, whoa, what's going on? If we have stock in it, meaning we participate. But for the most part, a lot of us don't participate. And if you don't participate, then why does it matter? It matters a lot, because guess what? Just the basics. Your 401k is on the stock market. Your pension is on the stock market. Now, if you don't have either or, this conversation is not for you. Period. It's just not for you. You can type in something else, whatever you want to type in. Doesn't matter to me. Pick the poison. But it's not for you. You see what I'm saying? So when I hear this whole theory, it's going to bring jobs back. Prove to me when that's happened. Prove it. Just give me 5 times in American history where raising tariffs have brought jobs back. And then when you prove it, show me what the reason why they left in the first place. Because we know we were the number one at everything. We understand that prior to 1971. We understand that. Education, industry, we were number one, but we're not no more. So how are we going to rectify this problem, right? So those are some of the things that are on my mind, right? A lot of the other stuff he does, I really don't care about, because I understand the game that's being played. But I'm still trying to get somebody to call in. Don't leave comments after you watch this video later on. I do them every Thursday, and I can do another one the next day if they request it. Doesn't bother me. But at the end of the day, don't be leaving comments. And then when I say, hey, just come on, let's talk about it, and you say, yeah, I'm coming up there, I'll put the number down. Because see, the number gives you a safe space. You don't have to tell me your real name. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to say where you're from. You can lie. I'm going to ask you, hey, what's your name? Where you calling from? This, that, and the third, right? That's what I'm going to do. But you're not telling me your real name, and I don't have a problem with that. I just need you to defend this foolishness. That's all I'm asking. Just defend it. You know, if you can defend it, good, do it. I'll sit right here and say, you know what? You make a lot of sense, you know, because I'm not a one size fits all kind of guy. I understand we all have different opinions, and we see things different. And with what we have going on in our lives as individuals, guess what? I get it. I truly get it. But at the end of the day, I'm not seeing the purpose of anything that he's doing other than crashing the stock market, other than putting us in a recession. Now, we already just had a lot of these Social Security offices closed down, right? And for those who are in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, I know these people personally, right? And you voted for this, you're a damn fool. Because let me tell you, they are just getting ready to close the one Social Security office that they do have in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And I know people there who are on Social Security. Now, what you gonna do when they close that office? What you gonna do? Huh? Now you got to find a young person to try to help you navigate the Social Security system. And what does that do? That's going to hold back on you getting your money. But this is what these black Christian Republicans down there voted for. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care if they don't get their money, screw them. This is what they voted for. You see? What y'all thought I was like, oh man, I feel, no, don't care. Hope you don't get nothing. Hope they cut your Medicaid benefits. Because this is what you voted for. You see? So we've got so much going on in the country. And I want to tap on this thing with the state of Louisiana. They tried to vote on the Constitution Amendment, and they used 50 Cent to go down there and talk and say a lot of good stuff. Man, we should vote on this. And nothing against 50 Cent. He's a businessman, right? But see, they did what they say the Democrats do all the time. They go get somebody black, famous, and they try to persuade you. Now, the Republican Party didn't say that this time. None of the black conservatives said a word. They shut up. And what they didn't realize, and nothing against 50 Cent, great guy, great rapper, great businessman. I'm not going to stunt on that. He was actually telling people to vote on this Constitution Amendment and didn't even know what it was about. Because guess what? Part of what they was voting on was kids 13 to 16 getting life sentences in prisons. That's what they was voting on. They was voting on cutting teachers' pay. And he's out there promoting it because he's getting a studio down there. And thank God that's good. We have another black studio in the South producing jobs. No problem. Theo's good for that. I'm with you, brother. But to sit up here and try to convince people to vote on something, and at the end of the day, you don't even know what you're telling them what to vote for. And they're literally voting against their own best interests. You see? You see how this stuff works? You see, this is where I always tell people, listen, you ain't got to believe what I say, but just look stuff up for yourself. See what's going on. Because this is what these conservatives are doing in these red states. You got the state of South Carolina, and I'm going to move on to something else. But you got the state of South Carolina who are trying to charge women who have, what is it that they have? Miscarriages, right? They are trying to write laws so that they can be charged with murder because they had a miscarriage, not trying to fix the healthcare system, right? Because most women that have I was about to say abortion. That's not the word I want to use. Most women that have miscarriages, guess what? A lot of them are due to thyroid issues. So we're not going to fix the medical system and try to figure out how can we better serve women that have thyroid issues so they won't have these miscarriages. We rather just say, oh, well, that's murder. You see, this is what you idiots voted for. You see, and it's people like me who got to try to reverse the damage that you guys are doing over and over. This concept, oh, he's going to make the country better. He's going to do that. Man, the guy was handed a good economy from Obama. He ruined that. He was handed a good economy from Joe Biden. He's already ruining that. You see, even the Senate right now, I'll take a swig of this water. Give me a second. Even right now, the Senate has voted to try to stop the tariffs that he's putting against Canada because he understands the damage that it's doing. But you stupid ass Republicans, you don't understand that kind of damage. You know why? You don't travel. You don't do anything. You within your own little wheelhouse, right? So let's look at raw numbers. You can look everything up I'm about to say. Raw numbers. From last year to this year time, there's a 70% decrease in flight schedule from Canada into the U.S. because it's tourist season now. 70%. There's a 20% decrease from cars traveling over in the border area. So we're talking Washington State, Niagara Falls, Orwell, New York, Oswego, New York. 20% decrease. So that means people aren't traveling, aren't spending money over here because of your president, Don DeCon. That's what happened. So help me understand, how is he making America great when he's literally killing the tourist industry? You got other countries in Europe saying, hey, don't go to the U.S. If you do, be careful. This is the money that states like Florida, Walt Disney, California, all these tourist areas. This is money that they need, and he's setting them up for failure. So I just need somebody to explain to me, what is he doing that's making America great? because I keep hearing it, especially with these black conservatives, right? And I know y'all say, man, you're always picking on them black. I go after the white ones too, but I got to go after them because guess what? They have a big megaphone, a real huge megaphone, not a microphone. They got a megaphone, and they spew lies and they get people all confused, and they go with all this red meat talking point that tell you all the time the same stuff. The Democrats ain't done nothing. They tell you black people been voting Democrat for 100 years, which is a lie. They would do all that, but at the same time, they cannot justify anything this guy's doing. Anything. So him moving his Liberation Day, and I got a picture of that. Him moving Liberation Day to 4:00. He did it for a reason, because the market closes at 4. He didn't want the market to show his actions what was going to turn out. And now look where we at right now. Market opened up Monday morning, and guess what? It was down. Now, if you got Charles Schwab, you know you can go in and buy stocks 24 hours a day, or ETFs, however you want to call it. 24 hours a day. So you get to see what your money is doing, right? You get to see right there how the stock is running. And none of these conservatives are speaking up for how the stock market is going. Because the stock market is going to determine how the economy is going. That's just a fact. You don't have to believe me. You can look it up and understand that, right? I want you to say, oh, he's just spewing everything. Who cares? He just, no. We're not just spewing everything. Now, S125 said Biden economy was horrible. See, listen, you want to put something like that in the comment? Cool. Call up and explain to me why it was so horrible. Because here's the thing, S125, great guy. If y'all don't know who he is a great guy. I just don't agree with that particular statement. The gold rush that you guys bragged about, I participated in, was under Biden. It wasn't under Trump. Remember that. It was under Biden. So you guys had roughly 18 months of running hard in the paint, making good money, and then all of a sudden, guess what? The war started and things started trickling down. So how was that Biden's fault? You had 18 months of prosperity. Now, what you did with the money, that's on you, right? Ain't got nothing to do with that. But to think that was the normal, maybe that was the problem. You didn't understand the economy. I think that's what the problem was. You didn't understand the economy because guess what, brother? The rates are horrible right now. And I'm not going to stick with this trucking crap, right? You want to call in, call in. I don't have a problem with that. But if not, I'll just answer your comments as you put them up there. But at the end of the day, let's be honest here. You and I both know things are horrible now, and Biden's not in charge. So my question to you, are you making more money now than you was in the last 3 months of the year? Because now we're in the 4th month. So we're at the beginning month of the 1st quarter. What was your numbers like? You see, all that big talk don't mean nothing to me. You can't prove it. Y'all know how that stuff works. So you say what you want on that one. That doesn't matter to me at all. I get it. You know, if that's what you want to do it. But at the end of the day, I say defend yourself. Defend yourself. That's all you got to do. I'm not asking a lot. Just defend yourself. Oh, so here we go. All right. So look, I'm going to answer this one time. I'm going to put this up one time, then I'm done with that. Nah, it was Trump, but it was because of COVID. What was Trump? What was Trump? Just give me the years the gold rush started. I'm going to let you find out what years that you guys called the gold rush. Find out what years the gold rush was, and then let me know and I'll come back to it, right? Because right now I'm not going to spend my whole show debating that particular industry. You want to debate it, call in, right? That ain't it with me. Y'all know how I feel about certain aspects of that. So pick your poison, and we ain't doing that dance, because I see right now when it's time to do the dance, you ain't got no shoes on. You just sitting around talking and texting. So either you're gonna bring it or you ain't gonna bring it. That's the way we're gonna run it over here. Either bring it or just gonna shut up about it. You got free range. It's up to you, brother. Or anybody. Anybody want some of this, how they say, anybody want some of this smoke, they can get it. at the end of the day.
Took an oath to our people. It is.
But I wanted, there was a clip I was looking for. Let's see. I want to play that one. Let's go back here. If my clip didn't save for some reason. I don't think it did. No. Yep. I was hoping it was saved. It doesn't look like it did. And I'm a little disgusted about that. But hey, it is what it is, right? We can deal with it for what we got to do. If I can find it, I'm going to put it up. Let me go through here real quick while I'm yapping off at the mouth. Maybe I can find it. Nope, can't find it. And I thought it was uploaded. It wasn't. So, but getting back to the issue at hand, I can't find what I was looking for. I might have to go through. Let me try to go through my phone and see if I can pick this up and make it do what it do. Let's see here. I'm not going to ignore the audience while I'm trying to do this here. So give me 1 second, people, if you don't mind. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're trying to figure out when is he supposed to make everything great, right? Because guess what's going on? You don't hear this from these black Republicans. A little bit you did, right? So they're talking about the Smithsonian Museum and removing some of the things out of the Smithsonian Museum that contains to things that we've done in history, right? That's one of the things they want to do. And this is what, to my black Republican brothers, this is what they're saying, right? And one of the things they're saying is they're looking at, okay, so what they're talking about, let me see if I can get this pulled up here. Here we go. I'm going to do it from my phone. I got it. So what they're talking about is, who cares about what's in the Smithsonian Museum, right? So, okay, you don't want the black experience to be represented in this country, the good, bad, and the ugly. Then let's close down the Jewish Museum. See, let's close that down. You see, let's close down the Jewish Museum. See, they too scared to talk about that. So if I got to learn about the Holocaust from a child in school, then I need to learn about the black experience in this country. Everybody should learn it. I don't see what the big deal is. You see? You see what I say with these black Republicans, they're not in your best interest. Excuse me. They're very deceitful. You know, they are the devil's minions. And this is what the problem is. So let me pull up something here. I have to do it from a different area. Let me make myself very small. Yeah, here we go. So look at this. Let me get that crap off there. Here we go. UX stocks tumbles on global trade fears over new tariffs. You see what I'm saying? This is what's happening live right now as we are talking, right? This is what's going on. This article was from NPR. So if anybody want to look it up, they're more than welcome to figure out, you know, why that article was there, where it came from. You know, that's all they got to do. You know, it don't take much to read, but I get it. A lot of people can't read. You see what I'm saying? You got me? So here we go. This guy that everybody is promoting, right? Look what he's doing to the stock market. And if you don't have any investments, 401 pension, a brokerage account in the stock market, I get it why you don't care. I get it. I got some. So it's very important to me because it takes time to build your money back up, for those who don't know. Okay, so here we go. Brother put up there 3/20/20. Was it? Okay, March 2020. All right, so here's my comment to that. And I'm asking this brother, since he put it in, who was the president during 3/20/20? March 2020. Who was the president during that time? You see? Now put your comment up there. I answered. Now, who was the president during that time? I need to know. Y'all got to tell me something. I need to know who the president was during that time. Because see, if you can tell me who the president was during that time, literally talk about stuff and figure out where we went wrong, what's going on. That's all I'm saying. Just tell me that aspect of it. And then to sit up here, okay, here we go. I love this. This one thing I love about comments, right? It is engaging. No president ever fixed the economy the right way. Well, what's the right way? Because right now, this ain't the right way. And the economy was doing good. Now, maybe the sector you were in may not have been doing good, but for the most part, the economy was doing good. So what's the right way to fix the economy? If you don't mind, just you put it in there. So what's the right way? You see all this. You see this is what I'm talking about. This idiotic stuff. He said, give him a year and we should notice a change. Why give him a year? I thought he said day one. You see? So you want me to wait and give him a year. And I'm watching my money in my 401k. I'm watching all of my investments, what little bit I got, go down. So I'm supposed to give him a year? Brother, if it keeps going down any lower, it's going to take 16 months for me to catch up to what I lost. You thought about that? So explain that to me. You see what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I'm not going to keep answering a lot of these comments because it's coming from the same person, right? And I stand on what I say. Just call in. All this texting and typing, just call in. I done seen you guys, big guys, want to fight each other, pull guns out on each other, and you can't call in and explain your point, but you got to text and type. Oh, man, you talk about something crazy. All right, so let's get out of there. Here we go. Liberation Day, right? This is what he talks about. Liberation Day. Here's the new Trump tariffs. Explain all these tariffs, reciprocal tariff, right? And see, let me tell y'all something. See, this is what these dumb, idiotic black Republicans won't tell you because they don't know. He can only go as high as 25%. Anything higher than that, it's got to be approved through Congress. But see, y'all think he doing something. You see, you think he doing something. So explain this to me. Those that are in certain industry, your tires are going up. The oil that you need, the products that you need to move yourself to make money in this industry is going up because of Trump. How's that working out for you? Yeah. See, we start getting to the meat and potatoes. They don't say nothing. They cry like babies. They keyboard warriors when it's time to get down to the real talk. The keyboard warriors, black, white, as long as they conservative, to me, they're keyboard warriors. You know why? Because they can't stand on business. They can't tell you one law this man has put together right now. And see, and here's what they do. I tell y'all this all the time. What do they say? They ask you what the Democrats done, what Joe Biden. Well, let me tell you one of the policies that Joe Biden put in place. And this was for black men who want to start businesses, right? So they was able to get these SBA businesses loans, even if they had a felony, because he waived that part of it to make sure that we can get entrepreneurs in the system. And this is what you black men voted against. You see, you voted against your own people. And what did Trump do? He ripped apart everything. He ripped apart that. See? So you had black men who were saying, hey, I've done my time. I'm coming out. I want to do something right. I got an idea to start a business. I just need a little help. The government has money there to help those who want to start a business. And even with a felony, it's hard, but Biden removed that stipulation. You see? He removed that. Now you don't have that. Yeah. You see? This is what you voted for. You all voted against, and I said it just like that. You all voted against your own best interest. You voted against your own people and don't even realize it. You see, that's what you did. I didn't do it. You did it. You see, that's just it. You did it, not me. So don't get mad at Theo for actually putting out the truth. And if you don't feel it's the truth, hey, tell me why. I'm cool with it. I'm not going to argue, which is just a difference of opinion. That's the way life works, right? We all shouldn't agree on everything, but we have to really understand how the economy works. And we see right now that the economy is slowing down. All these people getting laid off. Well, they're getting laid off. Guess what? We're a consumer-based economy. Our economy is based on spending. We don't produce nothing anymore, right? We really stopped doing a lot of producing, thanks to Richard Nixon. So shout out to Richard Nixon because he's got us in a point where we don't do a lot of producing in this country. We're a consumer-based economy, So we're gonna say it again. Shout out to Richard Nixon for that. But at the same time, prices are going up. And if prices are going up, people are smart enough to understand, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to spend money. And if you stop spending money, what happens? What happens? You see? So now the economy slows down again, thanks to Trump. And people say, oh, well, you got to give them time. Give them time. We Americans, we don't give nobody no time. We see it for what it is right now today. That's what we're worried about right now today. We're not giving time. No. And will the economy get better? Sure it will. Mm-hmm. We all know that. But at what point does it get better? How much pain do people got to have before it get better? Right? And this is something I'm going to ask this question over and over to my black Republicans and my white ones. When Obama was elected, the one thing you guys loved to talk about was he was from Kenya. He was African, right? And that you guys held that over his head for 8 years. How do you let this white South African who is African come in here, who's not elected official, to go into the government and do what he want at will? And you say nothing. You don't say a word. You see what I'm saying? You don't say a word about what this African is doing. Not elected official, but yet you get mad if T-Mobile or Verizon gives your information away. But this guy's got free range to get everything, your social security number, your bank account. You ain't saying a word. And I know, you know what? I know why the black Republicans aren't saying nothing. Because they too scared. They know if they say something, boom, they're going to cut that money off right there on the spot. All of them that's got the social media platform, they're going to cut the money off. That's just it. You see? That's now, here we go. I also love that he's getting the illegal immigrants out of here. Okay, get the illegal immigrants out. But go ask the people in Nebraska why their state is failing because they don't have no workers. And here's the thing. We've gotten illegal immigrants out, right? Florida did what they did. They're getting them out of Florida. They're getting them out of Nebraska. They're getting them out of California. Okay, now who's going to do those jobs? Who's going to do it? You going to take your ass and go pick cotton? You going to do it? Because I know y'all got soft palms. You going to go pick cotton? You going to go throw watermelons? You going to go pick tomatoes? You going to do it? Huh? You going to do it? Wait, hold on. I got one better for you. I did this personally. As a young tyke, as a teenager, for a summer job. Go get on a shrimp boat and pick and catch shrimp. And when you got to gather that shrimp and sit on your butt, see that stuff you see on TV, that's all cool and dandy. But when you out there in that shrimp boat, you sitting down, that water hitting you, and you trying to separate this shrimp from this shrimp, who gonna do that? What are you gonna do with that? See? The economy was based off of low wage employees coming in seasonal and doing the work. So now what happens? I don't see all y'all talked all that stuff. None of y'all have taken these jobs that they supposedly took from the American citizens. What jobs they take? Well, guess what? Half of y'all too dumb. You don't know how to pour concrete. You don't know how to walk up and lay roofing. You don't know how to do it. You see what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? Okay, the immigrants are out. Why aren't Americans taking these jobs? You see, it's good to throw out a stupid analogy, but you can't base it on nothing. If they got them out, remember they was taking all these black jobs? Y'all remember that? As if black people can only do certain things, right? So I spoke with a guy the other day about that. He said, well, man, you got to look at, they was taking jobs from you guys. I said, no, no, we got black judges, we got black lawyers, we got black policemen, we got black doctors. They wasn't taking them jobs. What are you talking about? They weren't taking them jobs. See, you trying to equate, and this is all these black conservatives. And if you're not a black conservative, this ain't for you. But you want to equate working at Popeyes as a black job. You want to equate us doing minimum labor, that's black job. Man, y'all Negroes something else. I'm glad y'all wasn't around to free the slaves, because we'll still be slaves. You see? Y'all these kind of Negroes that talk about your granddaddy fought for the Confederacy and he did it willingly. That's what y'all are. Y'all those Negroes. Not understand they was forced to do it. How are they gonna know what they fighting for if the law was there? They couldn't read or write. They're fighting because they was told to fight. And that's just how some of you dumb Negroes are right now. You do what you're told to do. You say what you're told to say. Ain't none of y'all trying to go get no skills, especially these young guys. And the old guys ain't trying to help them. Well, let me take that back. Some of them are trying to help them. Black and white, older guys are trying to help these younger generation, but they don't want to listen. You see? So it is what it is. Oh, God, that's good. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I love me some good cold coffee. I am not a hot coffee drinking person, right? It just doesn't do anything for me. I love my coffee cold. And that's cold coffee. Been sitting in the refrigerator for a while before I got started. I actually got ice particles in it, so I love me some cold coffee. But like I said, they talk all this stuff, right? And then this is what I love about these people. They will sit here and talk about all the money that was given to the illegals, and they sent it to Chicago and New York and all that, right? And I'll be the first to tell you, hey man, I don't like that. I don't like that. But you know what they won't say? They won't say nothing about how these Ukrainians were instantly able to get Social Security benefits. They won't say a word about that. You know why? Because they understand they can't talk. They can't go talk about these people that don't look like them. They know better. Put them right in their place. Put them right in their place. That's why they won't say nothing. You see, and that's the problem with the country right now. You got blacks constantly trying to take down blacks. You got poor whites trying to take down poor whites. You got rich whites trying to take down everybody. And everybody getting 18 inches of meat, unless you at the top. You see? That's where it is. And still to this day, we keep talking, we're seeing what they're doing with the Department of Education, right? And they want to pretend that all of a sudden the DOE is the problem with the education system in this country. No, it's not. The states is the problem. We're not getting our young people trained for anything because we understand it's more money in keeping them in prison. That's what we're training them to go to prison. That's what we're doing. That's our training day. Train them to go to prison. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're doing. That's just it. We're training them to go to prison. Nothing more, nothing less. We're not training them to get a skill. No, we don't want to do that. You see? And that's going to be the destruction of the, as they say, the nuclear family. Now, here we go. I said, this is the time to save and buy while things are on sale. Yeah, I know that. I've said that over and over. But here's the thing. Are you buying? Don't tell me what are you buying? I need to know, are you buying? You see, if you're not buying, why are you not buying if this is the time? We all know that. But my question is, are you buying? If you're buying, what you buying? Because I want to know. Because guess what? If there's some good purchases out there that could be made, I want to get in on it. Unfortunately, we got in late on Newsmax. IPO started at what was it, $10? Then it went to 64, and the next day was at $234. So we, hey, at that point we tapped out. We couldn't get in. You know, that was my fault on my end for not being a little more see what's going on. Let me say it that way. You know, but hey, we'll catch the next wave. There's plenty more companies that's getting ready to start opening their IPOs. And if those that want to invest, just Google new IPOs in the next 30 to 45 days, and you'll get to see basically who's up there, what companies that are going to be out there putting IPOs. You can get in from the ground up and start investing that way. If you have the money, if that's something you want to do, I just want to put it out there. But let's get back to this foolishness, right, with these tariffs. I ain't forgot about it. Let's get back to this stuff with these tariffs. Now, here it is. We are protecting Elon Musk, right? And let's be honest. I think it's time that Americans say, you know what? We need more competition. Why do we have to rely on one company, as Elon Musk would like to say? Why do we have to rely on him for electric cars? Let's get some of these Chinese automakers electric cars over here. See, they don't want that competition, right? And shout out to those in Wisconsin who got out there and voted and was able to get that. I think her name was Susan Crawford, or maybe wrong. Was able to get her elected, right? Because here it is, Elon Musk was facing a lawsuit, and he poured all this money into this race. We hear all the time about campaign reform. We hear it all the time, right? And here it is. These same people that, look what the Democrats are doing. When you got a guy who's, is doing stuff illegal to get votes, and you don't say nothing. You don't say a word. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? He didn't win. Or let me rephrase it. His candidate didn't win. So now he's going to have to face the piper. You see, this is what this is all about. Elon don't care nothing about this country. Why would he? This is my question to any American, black, white, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care what you are. Political persuasion, don't care. You spicy, don't care. None of that. But I need y'all to answer this question for me. Maybe my brain cells just don't go up far enough. I don't have enough to get this figured out. Why would a man focus so much on what we have going on in our government, but he won't do it in his own home country? You see, this is why I can't think of the young guy's name right now, but I'm gonna use his words. This is what's called tethers. See, these tethers come over here and want to tell us about our country, right? And it's us who are making them rich, but they won't go to their own country and solve those problems. See, where he's from, they still got apartheid. See, where he's from, guess what? It's just like it used to be here in the 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s and the 1910, 1900, segregation. Blacks can't go over here. Whites can only go over here. Blacks are not allowed here. Whites are allowed. That's what he's from. So why isn't he trying to fix his own country? And you want to come over here and you got these stupid, and I mean stupid Americans want to talk about he's doing a great job. And what do? Keep spreading lie after lie after lie after lie. Oh, look what Elon's doing. What is he doing? He ain't showed you nothing. Nobody's been arrested for fraud. So what is he doing? He's just putting out numbers. That's what he's doing. He's just putting out numbers, and you jackasses are dumb enough to follow it. That's the part that gets me. You jackasses are dumb enough to believe what he's saying. You see? But he won't tell you about his contracts. You get me? So we're going to cut spending. Hey, hold up. Let's start with his contracts. Nope, won't do it. Won't do it at all. You get what I'm saying? So that's what the problem is. It just shows the stupidity of these people. You got me? Because at the end of the day, Trump is in. Biden's not in. And I know everybody, they want to keep talking about Biden, right? They want to bring Biden up because they can't literally defend what Trump is doing. You see? They can't defend it. So they'll bring Biden up, or the Democratic Party, and some foolishness as they're doing right now, right? We all know my girl Jasmine. They're bringing her up left and right because they can't defend what this idiot's doing. They can't defend it. So they have to deflect and want to bring up somebody else as if this is the problem. Right? That's what they do. And then, oh, well, I've heard all these people get up here, black and white, talk about how bad the American education system is. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty rough. You see, definitely, I feel it was better when I went to school. I can definitely say that. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, yeah, the education system is horrible, right? But what they want to cut has nothing to do with 1+1. Has nothing to do with that. If those remember, the things that they're trying to do has nothing to do with the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Has nothing to do with that. You see, they just want to figure out how they can get their hands on that money that's coming down through the government. And that's why I stand on what I said the very first time I did the live. Let's let every state be its own country. Then we ain't got to deal with it, right? I don't have to deal with somebody down in Alabama and their stupid shit. I don't have to deal with somebody in Texas and that crazy, chaotic mess they down there doing. Hell, they need to get the problems with the measles fixed. What you need to be doing is sitting up here talking about Biden and Trump and what Trump going to do for the economy. You better get a hold of JFK down there and get the measles problem taken care of. We have a real live calamity in this country because people die from measles. You see what I'm saying? See, they won't talk about that. They want to talk about some of this idiotic stuff that has no bearing, makes no sense. So they're focused. What they're going to do? They're going to focus on the black person. That's what they're going to do. They don't focus on real issues. What they tell y'all all the time. Oh, the Democrat and pedophiles. Pedophiles. Hold on, wait. We just had a Republican. And I wanted to bring the article up, but I'm not sure what YouTube will let me show. I don't want to get copyright. I'm not monetized, but if I ever could I don't want to have copyright strikes. Here, this guy had been going overseas for 40 years, having smacks with kids. I don't want to say the full word. That's what he was doing. Republican, Christian guy. And you know what? They didn't say a word. None of these black or white Christian Republicans haven't said a word about this. You know why they don't talk about it? See, let me tell you something. Whenever they have these Christian conventions, the Southern Baptists, and I call them the Southern Washers, right? Because they just wishy-washy. You know what always happens during these Christian conventions? And hotels keep records of everything. They buy a lot of porn. Don't y'all think about that? They buy a lot of porn. This is what these are these God-loving Christians buying all this porn. This is what they do. You see? Another problem in this country. They just phonies, fakes. Need to get rid of all of them. No religion is better than any other religion. I said it. I don't care who your God is. You ain't living by what your God tell you, so why you running around talking about God? That's the biggest problem right there. See, we got this moral majority. That's what I was trying to think of the other week. I couldn't get it. Couldn't figure it out. I couldn't remember it. My mind is just lose my memory, y'all. Y'all gotta work with me sometime. And they're talking all this, and they're influencing the president. So when you see all these different rules that are being changed in the school system, this is these people, these moral majority, Mike Johnsons of the world, the House Speaker from Louisiana. This is what they're trying to do. But they'll tell you, we're trying to, as a Democrat Party, they'll say, we're trying to take away your freedom and liberty. But here it is, they're the ones who basing what you can do based off of their religion and only their religion. You see? See, what they don't want to tell you guys is, they're going to tell you, we have a low birth rate problem in this country. And it's majority white. Nothing against white people. I love me some good white people. And anybody who knows me and personally, if you work with me, you know I don't care about what your color is. Everybody knows that. But I have to put it out factually as things are. Right? In certain states, the white majority of those states are having higher death rates than birth rates. And they're trying to figure out, how do we stop this? You can't stop. You see, if you understand Edom, who you are, you're not going to stop it. But they'll try to pass laws based on that, right? So this is where all these harsh abortion laws are coming into effect. Where we criminalize women who are having miscarriages, but we won't try to put any money or try to put in a program from a health standpoint, or how can we save these women? How can we stop these miscarriages? We won't do that. No, we got to close. Oh, we're going to close Planned Parenthood. For what? What you closing it for? Hey, let me tell you something. They do more than abortions. We all know that. See, a lot of you men need to have vasectomies done, because some of y'all don't need to produce. I can tell you that straight up. Some of y'all don't need to produce. At the end of the day, you don't need to produce. You see, that's where the problem is. Our educational problem is going down with men out here making babies that don't need to be making babies. I remember back in the day, was it 89, 91, our babies making babies? What was that Tupac song? Brenda having babies. I can't remember the name of the song. It was around about that time frame. Tupac was 89, around 91, 92. But at the end of the day, this is where we're at, right? So we got all this going on in the country. We're getting the illegals out of here. Great. Y'all hear my clap? We're getting the illegals out. All right. So who gonna pick all this fruit? Who gonna do these road work for us? Has anybody thought about putting people in the labor force for the farmers? Because they ain't paying a lot of money now, but we're gonna need people to pick stuff. I'm too old to be picking cotton, throwing watermelons. I did that already. That's behind me. And I got videos that showed me doing it as a kid. So can't say I don't know what I'm talking about. So what are we gonna do? To all my Republican friends and family members, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna get this workforce? Because we lost a huge workforce that was paying taxes. Not all of them, but the bulk of them was paying taxes. So we lost all this tax revenue because y'all want to vote for Don DeCon. Right? That's what y'all, he's telling y'all that it is it's the Mexican cartel that's bringing in fentanyl. No, it's not. And I didn't have time today. I would have put those stories together, but I'm going to do it next week. And I'm going to show y'all, these are white men bringing all this fentanyl over here. A criminal's a criminal. I don't care what color he is. He's still a criminal, right? But I had to put it that way for the shock and value and tell the truth. These are white men. So now what's going on? Everybody keeps repeating the same thing. Hey, there's 10 states where they're finding fentanyl in marijuana. Oh, okay. Well, somebody's putting it in there. You see, maybe, just maybe, the marijuana that you buy needs to be regulated so you won't have that problem. Nobody talks about, here it's regulated. Legally, you can buy, you go to any weed shop, they're all over the state. You can buy weed legally, no problem. Man, you ain't got to have no note, none of this doctor's note. You ain't got to go try to get a fake doctor's note like I used to. You ain't got to do that no more. Just go in there, get what you want. You want your George Bush, they got it. You see, they even got a weed called Donald Trump. So they're not mixing these kind of drugs in there because it's so heavily regulated. And you got states that are talking about we're having a problem. Well, maybe you got to regulate these problems. I'm not a big person on everything needs to be regulated by the federal government, but it's killing people. We may want to think about that. It's like pick the poison. We got to do something. So that's how I see that. Get your puff on, but make sure you ain't smoking nothing that's got some fentanyl in it. Because here's the thing. Everybody want to talk about fentanyl and they bring up China, right? I love to bring up China and Mexico with the American fentanyl problem. Has anybody ever thought about or admitted that America has a drug problem? See, we have a drug user problem. That's what, I don't know why we can't figure it, but see, it's so much money in bringing them drugs over and getting people hooked up on drugs. So much money into it. They're not trying to fix the problem. So we'll blame everybody else. That's what the president's doing currently. He's blaming everybody else. Everybody on Fox News, they get in line. It's China with the fentanyl. It's coming out of Mexico. It's the cartel. But yet it's Americans bringing it over. They're getting locked up. Matter of fact, one of them, did he kill the cop in California? I gotta go back and look at the story. I know he had a shootout with the cops. I think he did injure one. And I'll get that story for next week. But they're not talking about that. They want to keep you blinded on something else that's not factual instead of solving the real problem of, guess what? We have a drug problem in this country. We have a drug user problem. You know, I look at it this way. If nobody is not buying the drugs or using it, then you won't have a problem. Plain and simple. It's not trigonometry. So I don't see what we're doing here. It's not trigonometry. Don't do drugs. That's just it. If you don't make it available, they can't do it at the end of the day. So, you know, you can do whatever you want to with it, but I'm just telling you the truth. If the drugs aren't available, then how can you use them? So we got to get on the American government because they're making drugs available. We've seen this over and over. We've seen this movie over and over, how they do it and why they do it. And we still will get on different sides of the aisle and blame everybody but the people we looking at right in our face. We won't blame them for the drug problem. No. Y'all remember how all those companies was writing prescriptions for Oxycontin and codeine and all this pain medicine? And then when they realized, oh man, we got to do something, did nobody get no money? And this was pushed by the drug administration so they can make more money. And people was trying to sue them like, no. You see? So they created a drug problem. It's no different than what we got right now. We create a drug problem. We create drug users all the time. So as long as we're doing that, we're never going to solve the problem of drugs in this country because we've got a president that's too inept, that's too incompetent to do anything. Like I said, and I don't know what's going on in his administration because he didn't even know anything about those 4 soldiers over there on the Lithuania-Belarus line. He had no idea about what happened with these soldiers. But this is the guy that we got elected. This is the guy that's sitting there doing a press conference with Kid Rock, right? Doing an executive order for Kid Rock and ticket scalping. I think we got more important issues to worry about: Kid Rock and ticket scalping. Here's a guy who can't sell a auditorium at a high school out for his concert. You get what I'm saying? This guy hasn't had a hit since McDonald's ice cream machine was working at every McDonald's. He ain't had no hit. Now, y'all, here's the thing. What if Obama would have did that? What do you think these black conservatives and white conservatives, I'm just going to say conservatives, I'm going to make it too much like that, black and white. What y'all think they would have said if Obama would have did that? You see? They would have been losing their mind. Y'all remember when Miss Harris was running? Oh, she bringing Beyonce in. Okay. So what? They wasn't trying to sell anything, but you don't say nothing about this ex-junkie. Well, he's still probably alcoholic. Looks like an alcoholic. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't say nothing. So that lets you know what kind of president we got. As long as they're kissing his butt, they're happy. He's happy with it. You see? And he's bringing people in that has no value, can't help the country at all. We still got Signal Gate going on, but from what I'm hearing, they may be firing a couple people. We'll see. We shall see. And let's not forget about their bombing over there in Iran and Yemen. So we will be in a war pretty soon. And if anybody has lived long enough when we went into, whether it was Desert Storm, the Iran Contra, any of these wars, the economy will go down for a while. And it'll take a while to build back up. So that's where we're probably headed to. I hope it's not. But for right now, all the signs are telling me, boom, this is where we're going. You know, So other than that, hey, it is what it is, right? And I'm gonna end it because we right at an hour, a little over an hour, and everything. So hey, I appreciate everybody came in. West 125, T Hill, DBs, Harpo, Marcus, Top Rope. You know, he came in late. Appreciate him. Oh, let me say this. This is something I want to talk about. Make it quick. There is a video of a young man getting out of a tractor trailer who the cops shot him with rubber bullets, and he pulled out a long gun. I think this was a 45, and shot at the cops, and they unloaded on him, killed him. And let me say this. I don't need nobody out there talking about what the cops did. Now, when they stopped this guy, they already had a SWAT team. This guy had already killed somebody. Now, if you're going to take a life, you can expect to lose your life sooner or later, and which he did. And he had all the chances to just get them handcuffs put on him and not lose his life. But he chose to shoot back at the cops. Now, this is one time. I've seen the whole videos on Facebook. If anybody haven't seen this on Facebook. But understand this, before we start speaking about these cops were wrong, this guy had already took somebody's life. And he had a chance to get out, get on the ground. I'm not about that. Now, I don't like that, get on the ground. I at least would turn around with my hands already on my back. You see what I'm saying? He had that chance, and he didn't. So I don't want y'all to start all these white cops. Listen, this is one time. We ain't doing this. This guy was wrong. Totally wrong. So don't get out here with this foolishness talking about what the cops did. Let's go back and look at step by step what led them up. Because we know there are some cops that are doing a lot of dirty things. We know that. And I would stand up against them any day. Right? Even if it's that brother, I can't think of his name. It's real big on YouTube. Officer Tatum, whatever his name is. And he loves to take the officer side, right? That's his thing. That's what he gets paid to do. I ain't knocking that. Right? But sometimes we got to make a realization. It ain't always the cop. This time it was not the cop's fault for this young man to lose his life, but he had already took someone else's life. Now we got to be mindful of this. Is not somebody getting pulled over because their registration was out. There's a broken tail light. This is not where somebody was getting pulled over and the cop made up something and cop unloaded on them. Now I would defend against that any day. But for this particular option here, this guy did take someone's life prior to getting stopped. That's why the SWAT team was waiting on him. And he did decide he's going out in guns of glory. And he went out just like that in guns of glory. So y'all down there in that specific area, parents or whoever, I hate to see anybody lose, they have to bury their child. But this is one where we don't need to be in the streets. It's what we call open and shut case right here. We don't need to be in the streets behind this at the end of the day. And that, I would say to everybody, hey, I appreciate everybody coming in. I did want to dwell on that story a little bit longer, but I could only get so much information on it. So to that, I'll say, hey, listen, everybody, appreciate everybody coming in. Like always, everybody stay prayed up, stay strapped up, and we're going to do it again. And we'll be out of here in about another 10 seconds. At least I'm going to be off screen. That everybody have a good one.